After recovering from surgery, I came home to find my room empty, my photos taken down, and my younger sister in my bed. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Mom said you're not well enough to stay here anymore." My mother didn't deny it. "We need peace in this house," she whispered. "You bring chaos." I slept at a train station that night. The next morning, I walked into her workplace with a file I was never supposed to find. I had just gotten out of surgery when this all started. It was supposed to be the turning point in my life. I'd been dealing with autoimmune issues for years, constant fatigue, joint pain, brain fog. I was in and out of doctors' offices since I was 19. Most people thought I was making it up, including my own mother. After years of being told it was anxiety or stress, I finally found a specialist in Philadelphia who confirmed it wasn't all in my head. I had a real condition. A rare one. Treatable, but it would take time and a major surgery to get me on the right path. The surgeon called it a restart. I held on to that word like it meant something. When the hospital finally cleared me to go home, I was tired but hopeful. My ride dropped me off around 2 p.m. It was a cloudy Tuesday. I had called ahead the day before to make sure someone would be home. No one picked up, but I figured they were just busy. The first thing I noticed was the silence. No one greeted me when I walked in. The house was clean, too clean. Like one of those staged houses people tour before buying. It didn't smell like home. It smelled like lemon cleaner and new paint. I dragged my bag up the stairs, every step hurting a little. My room was at the end of the hall, third door on the left. I opened it without thinking, like I'd done 1,000 times. I stopped cold. My bed was gone. My desk, my bookshelf, my posters, all gone. The walls were blank. My photos, the art I'd painted, the little notes and quotes I used to tape near the window, erased. It looked like I'd never lived there. And in the middle of the room was Riley. My younger sister. 6 years younger, always the favorite. She was sitting on a bed I'd never seen before. Bigger, newer, with fluffy pillows and her stuffed animals all over it. She had one earbud in and was scrolling on her phone like nothing was wrong. I stood in the doorway, blinking. What happened to my room? She looked up at me like I'd asked her what 2 + 2 was. It's my room now. I laughed, but it came out all wrong. Like I'd swallowed a cough. You're joking. Riley pulled out her other earbud and tilted her head, annoyed. Mom said you're not well enough to stay here anymore. I didn't move. I couldn't. My brain was struggling to catch up to what she said. I thought maybe she misunderstood something, or maybe she was just being dramatic. I walked back downstairs, my heart pounding. I found Mom in the kitchen. She was sitting at the table, flipping through one of those Better Homes and Gardens magazines like she didn't have a care in the world. She looked up when I came in. No smile. No hug. Just this neutral, almost robotic look on her face. What's going on? I asked. She didn't answer right away. She closed the magazine and folded her hands like she was about to give some rehearsed speech. We've decided it's not healthy for you to be here anymore. We? I said. She nodded. Me and Riley. And honestly, Dr. Loring too. He said your stress is contagious. The house hasn't been peaceful in years. That's not what he said. I snapped. He said I need time to recover? That the environment I'm in matters. Well, she said, we need peace in this house. You bring chaos. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. But I was too weak. My sides still ached from the surgery. I hadn't eaten a full meal in 2 days. I had just gotten out of a hospital and now I was being told I didn't belong in my own house. I asked, where am I supposed to go? She shrugged. You're an adult. You'll figure it out. That night, I sat at the Allentown train station on a metal bench with my duffel bag under my legs and my hoodie pulled up. It was cold. There were a few others there, homeless folks, a guy talking to himself, a woman with 3 bags and a cat in a carrier. I didn't say anything to anyone. I just sat and thought about how fast everything had fallen apart. That's when I remembered the file. About a year before, I was looking for old family photos and ended up digging through my mom's closet. She kept everything in neat boxes, labeled by year. But one of them was different, plain, unmarked, shoved in the back behind a winter coat. Inside were documents I didn't understand at the time, forms, receipts, letters, social worker notes. I figured maybe it was from when she was dealing with some case for work, since she was a family case manager. I didn't think much of it then. But now it all clicked. She'd been using me. Claiming extra benefits. Submitting false information. Pretending I was mentally unstable. Pretending Riley had developmental issues. Writing up fake therapy visits. Listing us on forms we didn't know existed. For years. She took my sickness, my pain, my vulnerability, and used it to collect checks. The next morning, I went to her office. I knew the building. I'd visited a few times before, back when she still pretended to care about me. I asked to speak to her supervisor. I told the front desk my name. They knew who I was. Darlene came out, confused to see me. She looked concerned when she saw the bandages on my stomach, the circles under my eyes. I need to show you something, I said. We went to a private room. I laid the documents out one by one. I explained everything. The dates. The lies. The fake claims. The fake counseling. I showed them texts from Mom's phone, screenshots I had saved months ago when she bragged about working the system. To a friend. Darlene listened. She took notes. She didn't interrupt once. When I was done, she looked at me for a long time. Thank you for coming forward, she said. I know that wasn't easy. It wasn't. But it was necessary. Within days, the office began an audit. Calls were made. Emails sent. Investigators pulled her old files. One thing led to another, and soon enough, they realized the truth. She'd been stealing from the system for years. She was suspended from her job. Then fired. Then charged. And I wasn't done yet. After the suspension, Mom started unraveling fast. I wasn't there to see it happen in real time, but people talked. Allentown isn't that big. Word gets around. She told her friends I made it all up out of spite. That I was unstable. That I had a vendetta. She even called my aunt in Harrisburg and told her I was on drugs, that I'd forged the documents to get revenge because I was jealous of Riley's success. Jealous? Riley barely passed high school. She worked part-time at a nail salon and spent most of her time partying or on TikTok. But whatever. That's how my mom operated. If she was going down, she was dragging lies behind her like anchors. She tried to play the victim at first. Claimed it was all a clerical error. Then she switched gears and blamed me. Said I'd manipulated the documents. The investigators didn't buy it. Her name was on everything. The handwriting matched. So did the bank records. But here's where it gets messy. Turns out, she didn't just commit fraud using my name. She did it to other people too, families she worked with. Some of them were real cases, people who trusted her to help them. She redirected payments, overreported hardships, and kept the excess. It went beyond just stealing from the state. She stole from actual struggling parents. When that came out, things got worse. A second investigation opened. Her lawyer quit. Riley started freaking out, posting weird cryptic stuff on social media about being betrayed by blood. I guess that was aimed at me. Meanwhile, I was still trying to rebuild. I'd moved into a studio apartment through a local housing program. It wasn't glamorous, tiny kitchen, barely enough room for a table. But it had a door that locked, and no one called me a burden when I coughed too loud. I got a part-time job at a bookstore downtown. Mostly I stocked shelves and worked the register. On slow days, I'd read books about people who survived worse things than me. That helped. A little. But I couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't over. That they weren't done trying to destroy me. One day, I got a letter. No return address. Inside was a printed screenshot of a Reddit thread. Riley had posted it. Under a throwaway account. She was telling people a mentally ill sibling had destroyed her mom's career out of jealousy. She said I had a history of self-harm, and that I'd faked the documents to get back at my family for not letting me ruin their peace. Thousands of people believed her. The comments were disgusting. People calling the sister a sociopath, a narcissist, a danger. A few of them even dug through my online presence and started messaging me directly. I was scared. For a moment, I wanted to crawl back into the hole I'd come out of. Let them win. Let them smear me into the ground. That's what they wanted anyway. But then I realized something. They underestimated how much I had left to lose. Riley had used a burner Reddit account, but she wasn't careful. I recognized an old photo she posted, one she'd used on her Instagram story months before. The caption was the same. I had a screenshot. I saved it. Then I dug deeper. I remembered she used to use the same dumb password for everything, her middle name, and the year she was born. I tried it on an old iCloud link she shared with me once. It worked. Inside I found videos, screenshots, photos, all kinds of things Riley never meant for anyone to see. Some were harmless. Party photos. Dumb selfies. Others were not. There were photos of her driving drunk. Videos of her and her friends stealing makeup from Target. One showed her lighting fireworks inside a public park. Another had her mocking a girl with a disability at a school event, something she swore she'd never done, something she cried about in front of teachers when the rumor came up. She filmed it herself. She laughed in the video. I copied it all. Saved every file. I didn't know what I'd do with it yet. But I held on to it like a loaded gun. The next time Riley messaged me, it was a threat. You think you're safe because the state believes you? Keep pushing and I'll show the world who you really are. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. Because while she was threatening me, I was already talking to someone who would care a lot more than random people on Reddit. Her old high school principal. I met with Principal Gorman the following week. He'd always been one of those no-nonsense guys, gray hair, heavy mustache, still wore a suit even on half days. He remembered me, said he was sorry to hear about everything with my mom. I could tell he meant it. I won't lie, he said, sitting back in his creaky office chair. I heard things. Some of the faculty said your sister and mom were going around saying you weren't doing well mentally. I handed him a flash drive. What's this? Proof that Riley was never who she pretended to be. And that my mom helped cover it up. He looked confused, but plugged it into his computer. I didn't watch the screen. I'd already seen it all. Riley mocking a student with Down syndrome in the hallway, laughing with two other girls while calling her names. Then, later, a selfie video bragging about how she got out of suspension by crying and blaming someone else. The principal's face turned red. He didn't speak for a while. She submitted an application here, he finally said. To work as a student counselor aide. For the after-school program. I blinked. What? He nodded. We hadn't hired her yet. But it was close. Background check was clean. References from your mom, of course. He looked back at the screen. Then he looked at me. This changes everything. That same day, I got another message. This time from a private account on Instagram. It was Riley again. But the tone was different. You think this is funny? You're ruining people's lives. I didn't respond. Then another. We're family. You don't do this to family. It made me laugh. Actually laugh. The kind of laugh that hurts a little because it's been sitting in your chest too long. She didn't care when I was lying in a hospital bed. She didn't care when I was forced to sleep at a train station. But now that her fake little life was crumbling, now she wanted to cry about family? That same night, I got a call from Darlene, Mom's old boss. She said, I thought you should know. There's been a development in your mother's case. Apparently, someone had anonymously tipped off the state investigators about a second, sealed bank account in my mom's name. They traced it. It had over $22,000 in it, all money skimmed from fraudulent claims tied to 5 different families. It was the final nail. Her charges were upgraded. She was now facing years, not months. But here's where it twisted again. Darlene told me that in Mom's initial interviews, she named me as a co-conspirator. She told them I knew everything, and participated willingly, in helping her falsify the documents. My heart dropped. I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was. She was ready to drag me into a federal investigation to save herself. Her own daughter. But she was sloppy. The timestamps didn't match. My medical records proved I was in the hospital, or in treatment during most of the times the documents were submitted. The handwriting didn't match. The IP addresses traced back to her work computer. They saw right through it. Still, it shook me. I sat alone in my apartment that night, staring at the ceiling. I wanted to feel strong. I wanted to feel like all of this was worth it. But it felt like every time I took a step forward, I found a new knife waiting for my back. A week later, I got a message from someone I didn't know. Username, TezSmart87. No profile picture. It said, if you don't stop, you're gonna get hurt. Real bad. I froze. I traced the IP. It came from a device on Riley's college campus. I'd had enough. The day I decided to end it all, for good, I didn't wake up with a plan. I woke up to a text from my landlord saying the building was being inspected because someone reported a suspicious tenant with mental issues. No name attached, but I knew who it was. Riley. She wasn't trying to scare me anymore. She was trying to erase me, like our mother did. Same playbook. I got dressed slowly, took the flash drive with everything I had, and made 2 more copies. One I mailed anonymously to the Department of Education. The second, I walked into the Lehigh County DA's office and handed over personally. I didn't hold back. I gave them everything. The fake Reddit posts, Riley's threats, videos of her driving drunk, stealing, mocking kids, my mom's sealed bank account docs, screenshots of mom throwing me under the bus, Riley's new job applications where she lied about volunteer experience, an audio file I recorded of Riley admitting she knew about the fraud but thought they'd never catch Mom because she's too smart for those government idiots. The DA's assistant looked overwhelmed. She kept asking me, "And your mom never knew you had all of this?" "No," I said. "She thought I was weak." A few weeks later, the storm came. Riley got kicked out of school. They found proof she lied on her application and had multiple conduct violations she never disclosed. She was also banned from volunteering or working with any youth programs for life. One of the clips I'd submitted, her mocking a girl with cerebral palsy, went viral on Facebook. Her face was everywhere. Comments poured in. People were pissed. Sponsors pulled out of her little YouTube makeup page. She posted one last story crying about how cancel culture ruined her future, then disappeared. But that wasn't the end. She got charged with accessory to fraud. Turns out she had helped our mom forge some of the documents. Signed her own name a few times too. That sealed it. My mom. She went to trial. She thought she'd win. Showed up in pearls and acted like a victim. Claimed I was a mentally unstable daughter who framed her. But she got destroyed in court. The paper trail, the stolen money, the fake counseling records, it was all there. She got 7 years in prison. Not probation. Not house arrest. Real time. Behind bars. Even better? Because of the fraud and theft, the state seized most of her assets, including the house. The same house she kicked me out of. It was auctioned off to pay restitution to the families she stole from. One of those families? A woman named Lashana, mom of 3. She reached out to me after the case was over. She thanked me. Said if I hadn't come forward, she wouldn't have known where all her benefits disappeared to. I told her the truth. I didn't do it for justice, I said. I did it because they tried to destroy me. She looked at me, quiet for a second. Then she said something I'll never forget. Same thing, baby. Riley didn't go to jail, but she moved 3 towns over and now works as a cashier in a dollar store. I know because I checked. Her old friends dropped her. The boyfriend she moved in with left her. Her life is small now. Real small. She messaged me once more. All it said was, "Why did you hate us so much?" I stared at that message for a long time. Then I wrote back. I didn't. I loved you. That was the problem. And I blocked her. As for me? I got my own place. A better one this time. Small, clean, quiet. I go to therapy now. Real therapy. I got accepted into a state program that helps fraud victims go back to school. I'm studying digital forensics now, how to track liars, expose fraud, build cases. Funny how that works. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't just watching someone fall. It's standing taller after they tried to crush you. It's using the ashes of what they burned to light your own damn path. They erased my bed. My photos. My name. So I carved it back into the world where they couldn't touch it. And this time, no one's kicking me out.